What is the meaning of life? What do we, human creatures, seek for in this universe, in the eternal space of meaningless events? Sadly, there is no ultimate, simple answer to that question. Most of us are bound to search for their own approach for ages, and even may not find it before the end comes. Some may be tricked in false definitions by malicious intents or by themselves even, and live their entire life without knowing the actual purpose for which they came in this world. The least complex meaning one could perceive is to improve something. Most people choose to improve the situation around them, and that's totally understandable. It directly affects the chance to survive the environment and pass on the generations. However, it's usually trivial tasks like food and shelter. That alone cannot be an actual meaning of life. It is likely a mistake to accommodate to simple needs and put them in absolute. Ever met those people whose life is merely gotta earn all the money so I can be happy with new X? Yep, that is a mental trap. After getting X, they will want that, and so on and so on. An eternal loop. A bit different approach is, once you are settling or already settled a secure environment, financial stability, good house, etc., find a hobby, a task that you truly enjoy, be it playing games till the deep night, collecting rare coins, organizing a family cafe, or creating a cure from deadly disease. But there are always fears around these. How society will react. Am I skillful enough to do that? Will that be relevant in nearest future? And as a result, lots and lots of passions will go ignored and trashed deep within our souls. Well, there is a paradoxical thought regarding this pessimistic attitude at least. One cannot simply claim there is no meaning of life and then proceed to cover their apathy with it. If there is no meaning, means there is nothing to care about. If there is nothing to care about, there is no fear of losing anything. If there is no fear, why not do literally anything? And if there is no will to do anything, that's likely a lie. Everyone breathes, everyone thinks, everyone sits, stands, takes a position in the space matter. Might as well do something more complex and engaging. That being said, I guess that's what got me personally out of the grave. Traditional engagement plan with life of school, university, work, family, being so carefully foretold by my parents, fell off at around 16 years. Being talented at school but not the most talented has been known in the mind with toxicity. Only second place at the Olympiad? You could have done better. And it didn't improve the life as the knowledge was inapplicable in real scenarios. Communication skills would be a lot more practical, but they were lost with constant, almost cult-tier study. After that realization, even this part I could do well stopped being attractive, and gradually I lost all advantages except a few cardboards for so-called Olympiads. So, what will be the resolution then? now that I lost motivation in everything productive. Games. Yeah, those things that I have been told of by practically everyone for as long as I remember myself. No need to explain what this has ended up with, but it's worth noting that this was practically the last stand, something to grab at and try before it is too late. And at the end of the day, it seems to be working. That being said, the school wasn't detrimental here either. Analysis methods, knowledge in mathematics and languages, lots of that helped to create magnificent moments and playstyles during games and editing. To be fair, the story isn't a true happy end right there. The endless mistakes and troubles caused by flawed personality, unhealthy conditions of work, partly due to seamless separation of home and work zones, constant pressure for mildly annoying and plain up toxic interactions over the internet, and generic struggles of trying to be an artist on a defined schedule. But oh well, at least there is a direction taken, and so far it's overall the most enjoyable thing in my life. I get to fulfill my game addiction and most importantly, make others' lives a bit brighter every day. After all, there is only that much satisfaction one can get by salvaging themselves, while helping others is practically limitless, even if it is a lot less direct joy. Speaking of addictions, it does seem like people aren't actually addicted to things, except when they are directly harmful to one's brain, like drugs. They just give a preference to easy tasks that raise their dopamine. For example, if one task becomes a lot cheaper than other, or gets some special feature to it that wasn't present for a second, a lot of people will switch to first or even do both if possible. If something has to go, a human being will find another source regardless. Back then, some examples were books, newspapers, and TV. Now, social networks and games. Anyway, there is also a serious irony forming its way deep into people's minds where it comes to happiness. No matter how great the conditions around them are, there always will be good and bad events. That's how comparisons work. Everything is relative to current situation, not some abstract absolute. Improving your life conditions can only work for that long before tired mind starts falling apart over minor inconveniences. One cannot live truly happy life without depressing hours as a contrast. However, trying to camouflage the negativity, to put it away and never return, to look strong at all times, is something that will break even the strongest will and destroy even the most dedicated motives, simply because they refuse to go away and keep burdening you for eternity. It is only possible to accept them as a given and move on. No need to focus on something as destructive and humiliating to your own mind, even if it does need some recognition in order to gain proper experience. Let your mind have a mild defeat feel, turn, rinse, and repeat until the very moment of success. Eventually, the negative emotions will be gone, only living pale memories of the past incidents, and you will be left with great life. Not perfect one. Nothing can be perfect.